Hi everyone, today's video includes 10 tips that will instantly knock years off your face. So if you are interested in looking a little younger, a little fresher, this is going to be the video for you. I've also got my mum in this video today. My mum, Jan, is 70. I don't think she looks it, but that's because she's got a great skincare routine. However, with these 10 makeup tips, she's going to elevate her look and reduce the look of her age. This video is also sponsored by City Beauty, so thank you to them for sponsoring this video today. City Beauty have been kind enough to give me an offer code for all of you. That offer code is Pampered Wolf, and if you input that into the offer code box, you will get 40% off site-wide from the 22nd of November running all the way through to the 27th of November. 40% off. So if you were wanting to try any City Beauty products, now is definitely the time. And there are a couple of those products featuring in today's video. So let's get on with it. Tip number one is all about prepping the skin. Now, my mum's got really good skin to begin with, so I'm not going to smother lots of products all over her skin within an inch of its life. However, I am going to concentrate on the eyelids because my mum's eyelids are getting a little bit crepier, lots of fine lines and wrinkles on the lid surface. So I want to try and diffuse those lines and create a really good canvas for the eyeshadow to sit. Today, I'm going to be using the City Beauty Lid Lifting Treatment. This reduces the appearance of sagging eyelids and instantly softens and smooths crepey fine lines and wrinkles and creases on the eyelids. This has got hawthorn and Arabian jasmine extracts in there to support elasticity for a lifted, firmer look. It's also got quinoa seed extract to nourish, lift and smooth the look of the eyelids, and it's got blurring microspheres in there which are light diffusing to help reduce the appearance of wrinkles. This has some really soothing, hydrating and moisturizing ingredients in the formula as well, like glycerin, zinc gluconate, copper gluconate, apple extract and also cucumber extract. It's alcohol free, fragrance and essential oil free, and this is not only great as a skincare product, but it's also great as an eyeshadow primer as well. It's really beautiful. So I think there's quite a big difference in the side that does have the product and the side that doesn't. For me personally, I think the side that has this product on instantly looks more lifted, smoother, and less visible fine lines and wrinkles. Next tip, we're going to even out the skin tone. For me, 50% of aging is skin tone issues. So any pigmentation that you have on your skin that's caused by sun damage over the years of us enjoying ourselves out in the sun. So if we can diffuse that pigmentation, if we can wipe it out and really even out the skin tone, you're automatically going to look younger and fresher. My mum doesn't have a lot of discoloration on her skin to begin with. If she had, I'd probably go in with a concealer first to cover over that pigmentation before I went in with a foundation. The concealer that I would use would be the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, which is absolutely fantastic, really high coverage and dries down really quickly. In this instance though, I'm just going to go straight in with a foundation. Now you do have to pick your foundation very carefully. If you do have a lot of discoloration, again, like I said, cover over that discoloration first. You don't want to go in with a really heavy full coverage concealer because that may have the opposite effect of that you're wanting to achieve. You may age your skin rather than making it look fresher. The foundation I decided to use on my mum today is the Terracotta Le Tan foundation from Guerlain. This is such a beautiful soft matte foundation, hides a multitude of sins, really smooths out the appearance of the skin, and it's got great coverage without looking like heavy makeup. It really does look like skin. Now, to aid the skin looking like skin, I'm actually applying this with a very small brush, which is the Refa 35 brush. My mum was laughing because she'd never had her foundation applied by such a small brush before, but I always think that by applying with a small brush, you're more inclined to apply less product to the skin, and less is often more. During this stage, I also like to apply a little bit of color corrector to cancel out any pigmentation issues underneath the eye, but not only underneath the eye, apply a tiny bit to that inner corner and also the outer corner of the eye where you get quite a bit of pigmentation as we age. So by cancelling that out, you're you're automatically going to look instantly younger. I tend not to apply any sort of foundation underneath the eye. Generally, it's not formulated for that really delicate skin, so I always like to apply a concealer instead. And the concealer that I applied was the Lancome All Over Concealer. Tip number 3 is to lift, shape, define, and add some depth back to those brows. We often lose a lot of brow pigmentation and a lot of brow hairs as we age, so adding that back will instantly make you look fresher and younger. You can obviously use whatever products you like for this section, but I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown, and then adding a little bit of the Huda Beauty Bomb Brows Full and Fluffy in the shade 2 Neutral Blonde, just over the top, just to give it a little bit more fullness and a little bit more of a wispy look. Tip number 4 is to add a slightly deeper shade of eyeshadow in the crease and slightly above the crease to add a lifted effect to the corners of the eye. So you're just going to apply it on the outer corner. This is even more important if your lids have started to droop slightly and you're getting more hooded lids as you age, because this will help disguise your hooded lids and also give you a more open, awake, wide-eyed, youthful look. Now, this eyeshadow does not need to be really dark. We're not talking about Pamela Anderson deep brown to black shade, although she can seriously pull it off. Just 1 or 2 shades deeper than your natural skin tone will look like a natural shadow and will be very, very flattering. The palette that I recommend to everyone is the Super Nudes Easy Eye palette. This has every single shade that you could possibly want for a really beautiful, neutral, smoky eye. And the shade that I used is this shade here, which is just stunning. The next tip is one that I always do regardless of whether I'm wearing eyeshadow or not. On a daily basis, more often than not, I don't wear eyeshadow, but this gives the impression that I have a slight wing, and that wing really elevates the corner of the eye and makes them look more lifted and youthful. So this tip is to apply a concealer that is 1 to 2 shades lighter than your natural skin tone at the corners of the eye in a straight line. So the brush that I like to use is the BK Beauty 209 brush. It's great for this. Just pat the concealer in a line on the corner of the eye all the way up to the brow bone. You can even go further if you have sunken temples. That will just really aid bringing out those sunken temples and make you look slightly paddier in that area. But I like to apply all the way up to the brow and then pad it out with my finger. Tip number 6 is to apply a brightening pencil to that lower waterline. This can make such a huge difference. Looks a little scary at first, but it does soften as time goes on. So within 10 minutes, it looks absolutely beautiful. We get a lot of discoloration and redness in our eyes, especially that lower waterline as we age. So by taking this away and really brightening that area, you're automatically and instantaneously going to look younger. Tip number 7 is all about mascara placement. I like to apply a very thin layer of mascara all over the lashes and then really go to town on those outer lashes. By emphasizing the outer lashes, you're creating a lifted look to the outer portion of the eye, which automatically makes you look more youthful. I made the mistake of giving my mum the mascara wand to apply her own mascara in this video, and she went into autopilot and started slathering mascara on absolutely everywhere rather than concentrating on the outer lashes. So you can't really see the effect that I would have liked you to have seen, but hey, you know, it's my mum, I love her. We're gonna move on. Tip number 8 is all about blush placement. I've done a full video on this. However, I do think it's important to say that depending on what you're wanting to achieve, whether you're wanting a lifted look or a fuller cheek look, depends on not only the blush that you actually choose to use and also where you apply your blush. So I've gone for a lifted look with my mum today, which I think is incredibly useful. So I start applying on the tops of the cheekbones and blend in an upward motion. If you're not wanting that lifted look though, and a lot lot of people don't. And if you want me to do a video just on blush placement to show you how to do this, because obviously I did the lifted look on my mum today, do let me know in the comments section and I'll be happy to do that for you. But if you're not wanting that lifted look, if you're wanting a fuller, bouncier, more luminous cheek, I would definitely not go for a matte blush. I would go for something more luminous instead. You start slightly lower down, and I do mean slightly lower, so apply the blush exactly where you want it and then once again blend upwards. The blush that I used on my mum was from Givenchy. It's the Prism Libra blush in the shade 4 Organza CN, and if I wanted to create a fuller, bouncier cheek, I would use the Vive Sunset Blush Balm, and my favourite shade in that is the shade Rosa. It's just glorious. Tip 9, always line your lips regardless of whether you're going to be wearing lipstick or not. As we age, we not only lose lip fullness, we also lose lip definition, and the line that surrounds our lip just weakens slightly, so everything can get a little bit more muted and we can lose the shape of our lip. So by putting that back in, you're automatically instantaneously going to look more youthful. Of course, colour of lipstick and lip liner really does make a difference to how youthful you look. You need to make sure that you don't go too dark, because having too dark a shade on your lip can make your lips look incredibly thin. But you also don't want to go for a lip shade that is lighter than your natural lip colour, because that can also make your lips look like they're non-existent and you will just be all face, no lips. We might have gone slightly too deep with the lip liner for my mum. I think next time if I did it, I would choose a lip liner that was slightly lighter. The one that I used was the Lip Definer from Victoria Beckham in the shade 4. Again, I would possibly go for the shade 3 or even the shade 2 next time. I do like to add a bit of fullness back to the lips by adding a lip gloss. The lip gloss that I used is not just any ordinary lip gloss though. This is the City Lips lip gloss, which has a lot of skincare benefits in there. So automatically a lip gloss will make your lips look a lot plumper, but this will aid plumpness over time with continued use. And tip number 10, the final tip in this video, is use the buffing technique. The buffing technique has revolutionized my mum's makeup routine. You don't have to go overboard with the powder for the buffing technique. Apply a little bit of powder to a large fluffy brush. The brush that I'm using is the BK Beauty 103 brush, and go in circular motions around any area you want to diffuse. And that for me is absolutely everywhere. If you use the buffing technique right at the end of your makeup routine, you're going to make everything look seamless. And if it looks seamless, it looks less like makeup and more like skin. So you will go out looking like your skin is utter perfection rather than your makeup is perfection. And that is what we all want. So that's it for this video. I really hope you found it helpful. Are you going to try some of these tips in the future? Have you tried some already? Have they worked for you? Have they not? Please let me know how you got on in the comments section. Also, please don't forget to check out the City Beauty sale. It runs from the 22nd all the way through the 27th of November. Such a fantastic sale, 40% off site-wide with my code pamperedwolf. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. Hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.